Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Ask Dr. Andy. EBI Media was proud to present Ask Dr. Andy. And today we got another brand new sponsor, Dr. Andy.
Ooh.
And that is our friends at Contap. It's CONNTAP. Their website is gocontap.com. I'm going to read a little bit about for you guys. Introducing Contap. Share what matters in a tap with our cutting-edge NFC and QR-enabled devices. Turning every interaction into an opportunity has never been easier. Whether you're driving traffic to your website, podcast, or social media, Contap transforms ordinary moments into seamless experiments with just one tap or scan. Perfect for businesses, influencers, and creators. And because you are a wonderful listener to all of our shows here on EBI Media, you are going to get 25% off when you go to the checkout, Doc. That's pretty fantastic. So check out our friends at Contap. And once again, that's gocontap.com. Check them out. They got a lot of really cool stuff. And geeks like me, I love that kind of stuff. So are you ready, Doc?
Oh, absolutely. Go for it, please.
All right, let's pull up your fancy logo. And I told Doc, I tried to make him a skinnier doctor, but the AI wouldn't do it. AI intelligence wouldn't help me with that. So don't take anything, I'm not judging you or anything, Doc. EBI Media presents How to Avoid Gaining Weight During the Holidays. How topical, Doc. I mean, with Christmas only being a couple of weeks away for us. Today is December 13th. 2025, and all the comments and statements by Dr. Andy and Eddie Buffalo are purely for entertainment purposes. Take it away, Doc.
Sure. First of all, with weight, we just have to realize we're dealing with a bank account. And if you've got Bill Gates depositing and you're spending at Woolworths, you're going to have a savings account around your waist. So it's all going to be from the supply side. Weight management's all supply side. If you think about it, if they put you on a treadmill, move you at 4.5 to 5 miles an hour, tip the treadmill up to, they usually go up to 15. You do that for 90 minutes, you're going to burn perhaps 1,000, maybe 1,500 real calories. People run and step on this scale and say, I lost 6 pounds. Well, 5.7 of that was water that is going to go back on as soon as you drink and rehydrate. So you're not going to lose weight through exercise. It's a nice adjuvant. It's good for your health. It helps a little bit. It's all supply side. And you have to think that way and be honest with yourself. Humans are very economical animals. When we were out on wandering, the savannah, we're not fast. We're not tough. We don't have claws or big teeth. We don't have fur.
We don't have anybody chasing us, is what you're saying, Doc.
So we had to be economical. Women in that state had to be able to carry a baby to term and then breastfeed it until the child had teeth. So we save calories. And we don't need a lot of calories, and we don't realize what we're putting in. You have to be mindful and think about that.
You bring up a good point. And I know a lot of times when you say something, it triggers something from my past. And I had a young lady that worked for me in the collection industry.
Mm-hmm.
And she was from another country, very nice woman. But their kids were like 11 and 10, and they were still breastfeeding. Number one, is that bizarro world, or is it just an ethnic thing? Or is it something that's going to help the kid or hurt the kid? That seems like you're going to get mommy issues down the road,
To me, that seems inappropriate. It's well past the age when people traditionally stop breastfeeding and go to food. To me, a 10 or an 11-year-old breastfeeding is inappropriate.
Very interesting. Do these kids have a leg up by having the breast milk that long?
I can't think of any advantage at that age.
It's just cheaper. She doesn't have to go to the supermarket and get them milk, I guess.
Well, she's got to consume the calories to make the milk. It's
Ooh, I never even thought it that way.
sure.
So
It's all supply side.
she was always in great shape. It kind of makes sense for what you just said right now, because she's not getting all those calories in if the kids are getting it. Kinda.
Yeah, but we don't even want to venture into the other issues that can come with somebody breastfeeding at that age. You know, just from a social standpoint,
That's just so wild, isn't it?
it's to me inappropriate. That's strictly my opinion, but
So when I'm eating my big plate of cutout cookies with anise in it, I shouldn't drink booby milk. I should just go to the fridge and get some milk.
it's not a topic I really thought about.
Don, now somebody else feels your pain, buddy boy. Just so you know that.
How did we get here when we started speaking about weight
I
reduction?
don't know.
Things that I've seen, number one, you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
If you eat it, it counts. I see people who say, well, I don't eat. And then you say, well, let's give you a piece of paper, a pencil, and turn you loose for 2 weeks and write down everything you eat and be honest. And so I advise people to cut down on the hidden calories. Take the calories out of your beverages. They're unseen calories. People who go out and have a expensive coffee beverage have put about half of their daily calories in. That one little latte, something I don't know much about, they're putting 300, 500, 600 calories in. Half your daily calories.
Well, this is a big debate that I've had with a friend of mine, because his cousin is a bariatric patient too, and she just had the surgery. And people don't know, I am a bariatric patient also. I had the sleeve, which was explained to me that instead of my stomach looking like a stomach, it's about the size of a banana, about 4 ounces. Now, the big debate on this is, I mean, what are the chances of growing that back to the size it was? Slim and none, or can that happen?
There's a lot of different kinds of sleeves. I really couldn't comment intelligently on it. I'd be giving you nonsense, and I don't want to do that.
Because one of the pitfalls that bariatric patients have is they're going to find a way to cheat. Like, you might not be able to eat a gallon of ice cream in one sitting. You can do it all day, though.
Yeah. I've seen the phenomenon with people grazing, and I see it outside of bariatric surgery. But personally, if you want to have some control of your weight, you have to be upfront and honest with what you eat, how much you eat, how often you eat. And you have to look at food as, do I need it or do I want it?
Yeah.
A lot of people have succeeded taking the calories out of their beverages, avoiding alcohol, because alcohol is huge amounts of calories and has a lot of other deleterious effects, avoiding concentrated sweets, and then greatly reducing the amount of carbohydrate, the rice, the pasta products, the bread and bread products, the corns, the potatoes, and the starchy vegetables.
All the good stuff.
What do you eat? Is it something like that? A couple poached eggs in the morning, nice green salad, lunchtime with a can of water-packed chicken or tuna over it. Supper time, all the steamed vegetables you want. Big piece of baked fish or baked chicken. Nighttime, if you want a snack, it sounds quirky, but peanuts in the shells slow people down if they're eating in a nervous fashion.
Sense. Being
aware of what you weigh, not keeping things at home that you can't walk away from. I can't walk away from ice cream. If there are 10 gallons there, I will eat 5, be sick, and then go back for the other 5. I don't buy it. So for me to make a bad decision and go out and eat ice cream, I've got to get up, put clothes on, drive to a grocery store, bring it back, get changed again, and then someplace in that process, my brain's going to kick in and say, hey, dummy, don't do this.
So I got to tell you something. So I'm Irish and Polish, and my dad's side is Polish, and we would do the Vigalia, they call it. I don't know if you know what that term is. It is the meatless meal on Christmas Eve,
Mhm.
which consists of herring, pickled
Mhm.
herring, mushroom soup, lima beans, mashed potatoes, all kinds of cheeses.
Mhm.
The pierogies either have
Mm-hmm.
mashed potatoes or sauerkraut or farmer's cheese.
And
How many carbs is that?
quite a number. Now, with holidays and holiday meals, one thing I've seen that works so that you can enjoy your holiday and not regret it later with a substantial weight gain. Now, enjoy the day of the holiday. Have the things you want, have smaller portions. Otherwise, be rigorous with your diet.
Makes sense.
Give yourself those days. Plan your quote unquote cheats.
You got to cheat at least once a week. I know I do. And I have a horrible sweet tooth. I love chocolate and stuff like that.
Okay. What you do is you plan it. Things that worked for me. I got hurt badly. I was on a bicycle, got hit by a car, blah, 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 a lot of surgery. Next thing I knew, I was 280 pounds,
Ooh.
which is quite a bit for a 5'10" fellow.
Yeah.
How did I lose the weight? I did what I mentioned. I took the calories out of my beverages, water, black coffee, and occasional Diet Pepsi.
We're good.
I'm not an alcohol drinker at all. I took all the sweets out. I removed the rice, the noodles, the bread, the potatoes. I took a substantial amount of the carbohydrates out of my diet. I tried to be mindful of my weight. I weigh myself daily. There's going to be scatter whether you're holding water or not. And I would watch my trend. I would write my number down each day, put it on my refrigerator. So if I was going to make a bad decision, it was looking right at me. I lived with an adult daughter. I used her as a bit of a monitor responsibility person. And if I made a mistake, I woke up and there's half a pizza pie in front of me and I know where the other half is. I didn't beat myself up. I let my responsibility person know and I stopped. And I looked backwards and said, why did you do this? If it was because I was angry, I resolved the issue that made me angry. If it was because I was bored, I resolved that issue. The thing I also did is I rewarded myself. I set some milestones. For me, it was 10 pounds. It was an arbitrary number. When I lost 10 pounds, I would go out and buy myself a small reward, a piece of clothing that fit. And
it's so funny you say that because it's so much easier buying clothes and cheaper when you're not a large size. And the selection's a lot different when you are a fit person, which is crazy.
And there is so much unspoken prejudice against people who are well beyond their ideal weight. You see it in hiring, you'll see it in any sort of dating milieu, and it's not fair. And it's something that's worth working with, not stigmatizing, just choosing what you think is important and working. It's hard work and consistency, and it's just searching honesty. This is what I ate,
and it's just amazing to me how things have changed. I know that, when I was a kid, my father bought everything from Sears, tires, clothes, glasses, whatever. And what I always cracked me up is that I was a fat kid. And what do you buy the fat kid? Huskies.
I remember my mom and I shopped in the Husky aisle also, and it did not make me feel particularly well.
No. And they're never the greatest looking clothes,
The other thing too is there's a really bad prejudice out there, especially against women who are beyond their ideal weight. They're held to a different standard, which is really disequitable. From a medical standpoint, the benefits of weight reduction are tremendous. With 40 minutes of reasonably vigorous aerobic exercise 3 to 4 times a week and significant weight reduction. Diabetics have significantly better control, less medications. Hypertensive people, the same thing, better blood pressure control, less medication. And if you look at the plague that we have now of knees and hips and backs, they're all load-bearing structures. Take the load off of them.
I mean, my knees are so bad just because we're carrying all that heavy weight for so long. You can't just fix that, you know what I mean? I thought was kind of interesting. Another question that I do have for you is, what are the alcoholic beverages that are the worst to stay with? I'm guessing beer.
Beer has alcohol itself is very calorie dense. And then whatever you put it in, be it beer, which is just basically barley water, sort of like think of it, you're putting alcohol in with like a biscuit. It's the amount of alcohol and what you put in it. Alcohol itself is super calorie dense, and then you look at what else it's in.
See, the big transition that I had trouble with, I went from being, married, 4 kids, used to cooking for 6 people. So now, like when Doc came into my apartment, he goes, "Yeah, I gotta get you some food out of you guys." But the thing is, I buy it as I need it, because I eat to live. I don't live to eat.
Exactly.
You know
Thank
what
you.
I mean?
You summed up almost everything I said there in one very good sentence. You look at food as fuel for your car. Yes, you fill the gas tank with your car, but would you go back and fill the trunk with gas also just because you're in the mood?
Maybe some of my relatives would, but I won't do that.
But you eat to live. You don't live to eat.
100%.
But we live in a culture where food is love. Every holiday involves food. And
oh my God, yeah.
We celebrate overconsumption. Thanksgiving has gone from being about whatever it was about, us coming to the country and, taking the land. It's gone from that to a holiday of excess. You have to eat too much. You have to have too many things.
See, that's how I try to explain to people what it feels like being a bariatric patient. Like there's a line, and I can feel it now, that if one more bite of something, I'm going to be in the bathroom throwing up. So the easier way for me to explain to people is that when you eat Thanksgiving dinner and you're like really, really overly full, that's how I feel like all the time after I eat. And I've noticed that I can tolerate liquids more than I can solids. So I've been doing protein shakes in the morning with my coffee. I actually put it in my coffee. And what do you think about meal replacement? Is that a great alternative for people, or is that something that is not really great?
In terms of meal replacement, it's totally dependent on the product you use. And they come in varying quality and varying mixture of ingredients. Some of them will hit what you need. Some are fairly far off. It's totally product dependent. And I can't name products off the top of my head that are good or bad. I just say, caveat emptor, look at what you're using to replace your meals very hard.
And I don't remember if I said it or not, but all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Dr. Andy are purely for entertainment purposes. What gets me is that for years, I would try to put my protein in my coffee. And the thing is, it would clump up. So just a few months ago, I thought to myself, well, if you want you to put it in cold milk or cold water, I wonder if it would work in iced coffee. And it does.
Not something I've ever thought about.
It just, they haven't come up with anything that doesn't clump in a hot thing, which is weird. But now here's another thing. And it's almost like they're shaming you, but they're not shaming you. My big thing is, like, if I'll go to a restaurant, I'll order whatever I want, and I'll only eat a tiny bit of it. And then the waiter or waitress comes over and says, do you not like it? Do you want me to take that back? And so I got to the point where I'm like, I'm fine. I'm going to take it home. My daughter, Katie's probably going to eat it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just felt that in a society where, you know, like you said, food driven and things like that, that they were being nice, you know, just making sure everything was okay. But I just got so tired of talking about why I'm not eating it. It's really none of your damn business.
It's difficult because you're a very small part of your people with your condition are not the typical person they're dealing with, and the typical signal they get when there's dissatisfaction is the person does not eat what's in front of them. So they're cued to come to somebody who doesn't eat their meal and say, "Are you okay?" So I can see where they're coming from.
It's just aggravating as hell.
There's no magic sign that says,
Okay.
I liked what I had. I just want to take the rest home.
I found what I'm looking for, and people think that I made this up. But when I had my surgery, my surgeon gave me this card. And would you like to look at it, Doc? Why don't you read it for the folks? Can you read that, the small handwriting? I mean, typing?
Mm-hmm. That's very reasonable. Being allowed to order a smaller portion and pay less rather than having food that you're not going to eat and pay more.
Oh my God, yeah. So on both sides, pretty much the same thing, but to sum it up, the patient has undergone weight loss surgery. It is requested this individual be allowed to order a child-sized portion from the adult menu. And you know, it's funny, I was at my friend's for Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago. And they love going to Cracker Barrel. Do you know why? Because it doesn't matter who you are, you can order off the kids' menu.
Oh, I've not really thought about that.
No, because the Cracker Barrel is so much different in New York than it is here. I mean, in New York, it was like an arcade. It had like video games and like video poker, not poker, video lottery and stuff like that. So when I walked into one of these places here, it's like, what is all this stuff? You know?
I don't eat fast food ever typically, so I don't think I've ever been in a Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
Well,
I feel better like it or not. So when, I mean, there's always a school of thought that you shouldn't eat at night. Is that true that, you know, you shouldn't eat at night because you're just going to bed and you're not burning up the calories? Or is that?
There's not really anything evidence-based either way. Again, start to think of it more like a bank account. If you know, it's a simplification. There are differences from that if you do the hard science, but typically, if you're consuming more calories than are being used, you're going to save them.
Now, I know with me, not being able to put much in my body, I got to be very careful of what I want. And it's going to have a lot of flavor if I'm going to put it in there. So my question is this a mental thing or is this a physical thing? Because I'll eat something, I like it, and then I'll hit the wall and I'm like, I don't ever want to eat this again.
There again, I wouldn't really I don't have a good answer for you, and I don't want to give you nonsense.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So he's not going to make up stuff like you do, Donnie. Yeah, Donnie, I'm talking to you. Yeah, making up stuff, Donnie Lowe. No, he's not. He checks everything, you know. So I got another question for you.
Sure.
Okay. I had trouble with alcohol, and I didn't know I had trouble with alcohol until I knew I had trouble with alcohol. And that's because when I came here, I didn't really drink that much, a little bit, you know, because of everything that happened to me. And I would go back home to South Buffalo, New York, and I would go to Hopper's Bar where all my buddies are. And the first time back after not being there for 6 months, it's like, holy crap, I used to drink like this. I was a functional drunk and I didn't even know it, you know? And calorie-wise, what is the smartest thing to drink if you still are a drinker?
I would go with white wine spritzer. I would go with a tart white wine spritzer. And there, all you're doing is you're taking the calories and diluting it with water so that you're you're getting more liquid volume and less calorie.
Because I know for a while there, they were coming out with 0-calorie vodka.
There's no such animal.
I wouldn't think so, because it's
has-
made out of potatoes.
Alcohol has calories.
That's very interesting.
Um,
So, I also want to talk about, because we've only scratched the surface on you, when you did get injured, what did they have to do to you after you got hit by a car?
Gradually, I ended up having 2 back surgeries, 4 neck surgeries, and a few fusions with lower extremities.
Ugh.
The surgeries weren't all the result of that accident, but that kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back
I'm
and got
sure.
everything started. There were some bad joints and bad discs to start with, but that tipped it over.
And another thing that I always think about, because I had an Achilles injury. That's where I gained all my weight because of all the tests they did. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I mean, Doc, I was walking with a cane, and I would actually, use my butt to get up and down the stairs like a kid does. So my question is, and you'll see this a lot of these athletes, their Achilles, they'll rip it, or their ACL, When you have the surgery and they do fix it, is it a mental thing that you have to get used to the new normal? Or are you always going to have to worry that that same thing's going to happen over and over again?
There are a whole lot of different Achilles tear variants, and same with ACL variants. It really depends injury to injury, person to person. And again, I'm not trying to be evasive. It's very, very individual injury intensive. There are people who will have a partial tear. There are people who have a full tear. It depends where you tear it, how old you are, how well the repair, how well the repair handles, how well you do in rehab. You know what I mean? It's all individually dependent. It's not like there's one ACL injury and one Achilles injury.
See, what my problem was, they did MRIs, CAT scans, bone scans. They couldn't find anything. And then Dr. Ritter from UB Medical, he goes, I think I can fix you. And he had a very dry humor. He's like, yeah, Eddie, I think I can fix you.
Okay.
So he comes in before surgery and he goes, we just got to worry about infection. And I go, why? Don't you wash your hands? He goes, ha, ha, ha. That's pretty funny. So when they went in, Doc, instead of 1 tear, I had 32 tears along the side, and they just trimmed it, and I had my life back.
Well, that speaks to every injury is different. Every repair is different. Every recovery is different. And I see people will demonize their orthopedic surgeon sometimes if things don't come back the way they think. There are times when you're handing somebody a very, very badly injured, you're giving somebody chopped meat and expecting them to make it back into a steak. They can't do it. So I try to give those surgeons a lot of credit and a lot of leeway in terms of results.
Like, I'm going to ask this next question for a friend of mine, because I'm not going to say his name, but he's actually fighting esophageal cancer. Strong dude, he had 2 black belts in different forms of martial arts, and he didn't have chemo. He had immunotherapy. Tell me what that is, because I'm guessing you're using your own stuff.
My understanding, and here immunotherapy is at the very far cutting edge of treatment. My understanding of it is essentially you're getting your body to label that cancer as foreign tissue and getting your body to attack it, deal with it, as opposed to using chemotherapy. That's my understanding. You're basically cueing your body that this is foreign and using your body's defense mechanism to deal with it.
Now, he had a sister that was able to donate to him too. Okay, is that the norm that a sibling would be that matchable?
I'm out of my depth there.
Okay.
There, I know that it exists. I know what it is. I do not know all the particulars.
And he's also had trouble with stents that they're moving and they have to reposition them. How the hell does that happen?
Do you mean cardiac stents?
No, it is esophagus.
There again, it depends on what's actually, boots on the ground, what's
Right.
going on.
That makes sense.
What happens in his esophagus may be different than somebody else's. If he is resorbing or fighting a cancer, let's say there's a cancerous area here, that area drops out, that esophagus and that stent are going to move up or down.
Mhm.
I'm supposing it's something that's, out of my area of training.
And I've asked you questions about this before because I'm one of the few people in the world that have alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency disease. And supposedly the only way that you could cure me is with a heart-lung transplant. How come you don't hear about heart-lung transplants anymore? Or is it still happening and we're just not hearing about it?
I don't know.
I'm asking Doc some good questions today.
Well, if I don't know, I don't know.
That's good.
And
That's
I'll tell
good.
you right away.
It's kind of like with the insurance company. I tell people that work for me, don't make stuff up. If you don't know something, pick up the phone, call somebody that's smarter than you.
Yeah,
I have to do it. I don't know everything. We're all human.
Me more than anybody.
Now, I know that you have been taking care of indigenous people for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any difference in sicknesses from other cultures, or is it all pretty much the same?
We share a lot of common pathologies, and the populations I've dealt with, a lot of the differences are more from a sociological standpoint, where populations will have less resources, less opportunities, and they'll be in, what I perceive as, people who feel somewhat helpless or hopeless, people who feel like things are a dead end, and they'll seek, to blunt it with substance or alcohol. I see a bit more percentage-wise. This is strictly observational from 4 or 5 populations. I just see a little bit more alcohol and substance, but it's also very similar to the various areas where I'll see more alcohol and substance in the non-native population too. So it's kind of difficult to separate.
Now, in your career, what have you seen more of? Alcohol abuse, drug abuse, prescription drug abuse? Was it a mixed bag, or it was one more than others?
Very much a mixed bag, depending where I was and what populations I was caring for. Obviously, as alcohol is legal,
It's easy to get.
was legal, and everything was illegal for quite a while, I saw much more alcohol abuse. Also, alcohol is just settled into our culture.
Yeah.
It's built into holidays, get-togethers.
You want to hang out with your friends.
Yes,
they're
exactly.
Drinking,
Exactly. And I've seen more alcohol abuse than anything, but in some cultures, I've seen more heroin in places in New York, more methamphetamine when I worked on the West Coast.
So it's regional.
Yes, it's regional,
really
and
interesting.
it's also sociological. What is that group experiencing? What are their challenges? What are their norms?
That's a good question. What are the norms?
Yeah, you have to kind of meet people where they are, work with them, offer the opportunity to change, make the things to change available, and stand back and let people make choices.
And one question that's bothered me for years, and no one, every different provider I use for insurance for my clients, they all have a different idea. When it comes to diabetes, excuse me, some of the companies would rather have you on insulin than metformin. Why?
do not understand the why part of that. Metformin is in type 2 diabetes. It's a foundational drug.
I was always told the only answer I got from these people were that, you know, if we both have the same dose of metformin, our metabolism is going to be different. But if it's a meter dose of insulin, they're thinking that's a better chance. Is that true, or are they just blowing smoke on my ass?
I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. Are you saying that if you're a diabetic, I'm a diabetic, that
Yes.
insulin response is more standardized than
Yes.
metformin?
Yes. Hard to say, huh?
Not evidence-based, no.
So for all
There's
the
no evidence that I know of.
so all the actuaries out there, what Doc's saying is you're full of it. But it's different for every company. That's what's crazy to me.
It's different for every individual. It's very difficult to make group blanket statements like that.
Now, say your sugar's under control to the point where you don't need medication. Is that true too? Or are you going to be on some type of medication your whole life?
It really depends. With type 2 diabetes, you're dealing with two things typically. Number one, your pancreas is not making enough insulin to meet your needs. And number two, the receptors in your muscle that use insulin to deal with glucose, your receptors malfunction too. So you're dealing with two separate problems, along with a whole lot of other problems. So huge amounts of variability. Some people, if they're making a reasonable amount of insulin for a body weight, should you get them to that body weight, they may not need medicine. Some people are always going to need medicine. They can't make enough insulin to meet any body needs.
That makes sense.
And there are some people making no insulin at all.
Well, Doc, I was a bad car driver today because we're 6 minutes over. It goes by so quick, you know, and I hope I didn't throw too much at you. But every time I talk to you, something else pops up.
I hate to say I don't know, but I just
I
don't
appreciate
want to give you nonsense.
Yeah. So don't go pulling stuff out of your ass. Just to make you look smart. Yeah, no. So I want to thank everybody for being with us again here on December 13th, 2025. And I'm going to end the show like we end every other show. If you like working with people that are just like you, have the same values, have the same passion for life, and enjoy your kids as much as we do ours, we're the people you want to work with. You can go to ebiagency.com. You can even get to all our videos on ebiagency.com, so you don't have to go to YouTube. You can get us at eddiebuffaloinsurance@gmail.com, and we have a new hotline, which is 430-324-4557. Doc, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And let's see if he gets this right this time. So just remember, folks, life is definitely worth living. What do you got to do, Doc?
I'm just having fun with you.
What do you got to do, Doc? He's not having fun with me. You got to keep on fighting, baby. It's almost like when I had my buddy Billy Sheehan on, the bassist for Mr. Big, David Lee Roth, Talents. The first time he came on the show, about a week before I talked to him, I'm like, "So Billy, you got homework? You know, obviously this is for our insurance company.
You have to write that on the table for me."
Okay, I will. I'm like, just you got to ask me an insurance question. And so he's very busy. I mean, the dude's been on 76 albums. Yeah, amazing, right? And I said, "So, Billy, you got an insurance question?" Nope. But I heard it's good. So, everybody get ready for the holiday season. You got a couple more weeks to go, 12 more days shopping. And thank you for being with us. And we'll see you next week on episode number 3 of Ask Dr. Andy. Take care, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Andy, for being
my
here with
greatest
us.
pleasure.
So take care, everyone.